Hey guys, Ycoms here and welcome to my first F1 2016 video on the channel. As I mentioned yesterday, this video is all going to be about my first thoughts of the game, how I feel, how's the game, how polished it is, how stable it is, and stuff like that. So I think let's get started. So you see at the features list of F1 2016, there hasn't been any other F1 game that had that many features in the end. I mean, just to name a few: 10-year career mode, time and weather editor. I'm a big fan so far of the time and weather editor, that you can just adjust when you want to start the race, when you want to finish, and in which conditions you actually want to race. So you can basically say, I want to start in the dry, and then it goes wet, and then it will dry again. So it is very, very nice. I'm a big fan of that one, to be honest. I mean, safety car's back. Virtual safety car is included as well. That's yeah. I mean, nice, I guess. As well as the manual starts in the formation lap. That is nice as well, I guess. Simulation damage, that is something I didn't really expect. Well, of course it's known for a couple of days and weeks now, but it is very, very nice that Codemasters has included her to just give a little bit of that extra simulation or real life feeling that these front wings actually are very, very fragile, and you shouldn't touch any rears with that or any walls. Well, you will lose end plates. That's for sure. And what I also quite like is the customization in general. So basically, well, customization in terms of your wheel or your pad, whatever you're driving, you can actually see how the inputs actually work if you change some stuff, so that's good to see. I mean, audio settings, camera settings, that is something which is very, very nice, that Codemasters now gives this into our hands, how the camera actually should be like for us, in terms of, yeah, just do some personal preferences on that. That's really nice, I guess. Haven't really touched those options too much yet, but definitely will change the camera a little bit. It seems like I want to see the wheel a little bit more, I guess. I'm not too interested in the helmet. Don't need to see that too much, I guess. So yeah, I mean, if you look at these features, it's definitely, if it actually works and there aren't too many bugs, which I didn't really notice so far. I didn't have that many bugs so far, so it seems like the game seems polished in these new features and stuff like that, and the things I actually touched in these couple of hours so far. Short thing about the graphics, well, they look improved. I think the lighting is much better. In terms of performance on the PC, it seems like the game needs a pretty strong CPU. My CPU is actually quite good. I can run the game on high settings at the moment, but it's quite strange that it is needs a so strong CPU rather than a strong GPU, strong graphic card. So yeah, I don't know what really to think about that one, but for me it works pretty nicely actually. And yeah, that's basically about that one. And let's move on to the handling. For those of you who don't know, I'm racing with a pad on the PC with the Xbox 360 controller, so really can't say anything about the wheel, just about the pad basically. So there have been I don't quite, well, I understand people who say it is similar to 2015, but there have been so many tweaks in the handling now, and they make the game so much better and definitely more challenging. For example, the braking, it is pretty similar to 2013 now again, which is good to see, because trail braking will be a massive thing again, which I'm a fan of, to be honest. And also that when you're locking up, it is not like you're going straight on in previous games where you had to trail brake. It's basically like you can still make the corner, but you will lose tires, and yeah, that's a pretty big factor. So you should avoid lockups, as in any game actually. So yeah, traction zones as well. I mean, just the fact that you can't get full throttle before third gear basically in the dry says everything, that it is way more challenging, especially coming out of sweeping corners, and really have to plan how to put the power down, and if you just mess it up, then you're just landing in the wall if you can't correct it in the meantime. So it is you really have to be cautious, and you will be rewarded if you're doing it right. As well as, I think in this game you really have to be more precise with the steering. So taking apex speed, or basically just hitting an apex, will reward you with so much time, and if you miss it you will lose I don't know, depends on the corner, but you will lose more time than in previous games. And if I watch my gameplay back from previous games, I haven't been the best apex hitter, to be honest, and that's why I think one reason why I'm struggling at the moment a little bit to keep up with the pace. But I think it's just practicing, I guess, and then I just will get up to speed how I like it and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, it just needs a little of time. Something I also am very surprised of actually, because I've never really liked it, is rain. I hated rain so much in the previous games, and it has been so improved this year. It is incredible. The lap times are like 15 to 20 seconds slower than the dry laps, and it is yeah, it's just very, very nice to drive around it, to be just cautious. And when you see a car in front of you, like when you're putting the power down and you're getting a better traction out of the corner than the car in front of it, it really is a nice feeling, I have to say. And I think all these things together are factors that it could be that a certain skill gap will form, which I wouldn't be too surprised of because of these things. But I mean, I think we all have to see that in a couple of weeks. But so far, it really is not a game anymore that you can just pick up and be fast on, even with no assist. So you really have to, yeah, spend your time a little bit on the game to get up to speed, I guess, and to work on your consistency and stuff like that. So it's definitely, and I really like that. There was one thing I was a little bit concerned about. That was a certain I now call it input lag, but it is not really an input lag, as you can see in the clip now. It is like when you're turning from left to right or from right to left, the wheels like stops in the middle, and then it turns to the right. That is noticeable in quick direction changes, for example. Especially, I mean, the best indicator for that is Melbourne turn 11-12. That has been always not the best corners for a pad, because you really have to be very precise on that one. And in this game it's exactly the same. And I'm a fan of this wheel not turning straight to left and right and left and right. But I think it's just getting used to it, and it's not that bad. I mean, it's barely noticeable. It's not really noticeable in many corners. I mean, Melbourne turn 11-12 is really one big exception. Third thing, I did a 25% race with the ultimate AEI on no assists, just to see some things there in the quick race. And I really like the new HUD, I have to say. There's so much more information now. For example, sorry, how much throttle you're applying, how much you're braking at the moment, especially. I mean, that's very nice also when you're recording and watching that back, and you say, look, you're trail braking like that, and you're trail braking like that, and you're putting the power down like that, and you're going on the power there early and stuff like that. So that's very nice thing, I have to say. Also, information in general about the tires and the engine, like engine wear, tire wear. You have now the exact percentage, which is very nice to see. Also to compare with other people, then it's much easier. Tire temperatures, not really too sure how effective they are actually working, because we did one formation lap and then it was very weird. The tire temps didn't drop whatsoever, so it was a little bit odd, to be honest, but maybe Cody's will fix that in the future. Don't know too much about what is actually wrong at the moment, but I think we will just have to see that later. Also, it's quite nice to see that you can now see your opponent's tire compound when they're racing in front or behind you, just in the top left. That's good as well. And the delta, which can be quite which can be off-putting, I guess, when you're about to set it in fast qualifying lap and then it says, oh, switching between green and red, and you're getting more and more nervous. So it might be for league racing that I will turn that off or something like that, but yeah. I think it's also personal preference. I mean, it's no issue, and if you don't like it, you just turn it off, I guess. So yeah. Moving on to the AI, they are definitely racy. On one occasion here in Hockenheim was turn 1. I was attacked by an AI in the last possible moment into turn 1. They were just trying to go up the inside, and in the last possible second, and well, of course I shut the the door pretty aggressively, because that is not an overtaking spot, especially when you're planning your moves so late. But they're definitely racy. They are trying to overtake you, but something I don't. It's still. I mean, always been an issue with the AI that they're backing off quite significantly and fast, especially in high-speed turns, and especially when they're on the outside line. So they don't really try to hang on to the position. They really give it up very fast on some occasions. That is something I don't really quite like, but overall the AI is, I think, similar to 2015, if not a little bit better, also with the difficulty and stuff like that. With the ultimate AI, as I mentioned in that race, well, I couldn't really keep up with them at the moment, because I'm not really well, not really up to speed at the moment, or not yet, I guess. But I could keep up with them on some laps, especially in the early stages of a stint. But it seemed like when I got more that I got a little bit more tire wear than them, because in the towards the end of those stints I was just off. I couldn't keep up anymore. I was just losing more time and time. So I mean, that has always been a concern with the AI, really, with these things. So yeah, that's that, I guess. But overall, really, also impressed with the AI. They're very. I think overall they are very good. Also compared to other games, I guess. Next thing online, can't really say too much about that one as well, because we had one lobby yesterday for 2 hours with about 10 or 11 people. What I noticed though, and that was very positive, the lag was pretty much non-existent for me. We had one person who has a very bad internet connection, and he couldn't race in 2014 or 2015 because of this connection, and he didn't lag whatsoever. So that was very nice. Also, we didn't experience any disconnections, I guess. Not too sure about that one yet, but I think no one disconnected, so that's good to see as well. Some things, well, there was one thing I wasn't a little bit worried about, because there had been some occasions that I touched cars on my screen, and they said you didn't touch me, and that was a little bit, oh my god, some little bit of desyncing going on there. And vice versa was the same as well, but on most occasions it was okay, but on some occasions it was like, oh, I touched you, oh no, I didn't touch you, okay, that wasn't too good. Was a little bit worried about that one, but definitely more testing needs to be done to really see how bad it actually is. It didn't seem that bad, to be honest, but yeah, we will have to do more testing, I think, to really say more stuff about that. So things I haven't touched yet are definitely the career and all these practice sessions and stuff like that. I will get into it maybe even today, because tomorrow will be my first career mode. Sure. And yeah, haven't touched the safety car or the virtual safety car as well. So what I heard from some people is that the virtual safety cars seem to be a little bit buggy with the delta time, but really I haven't touched it yet, so I can't really say too much about that one as well. Also want to test online properly, and especially also pad versus wheel, just in terms of everything what is considered to do league racing on this game. And I will have a good opportunity to test that. We all have on the Sunday where I will have an AOR social, or Apex Online Racing social at Baku with a full grid, so 22 drivers online coming together. So that's good. Hopefully we can test those some things out there, and definitely also record that and upload that. That's for sure. And I didn't really touch setups as well, because I don't have a clue at the moment what to do with setups. One thing I know for sure is that the extreme settings like in the previous games are not working anymore. It's more about tweaking and getting some personal preferences, I guess, just to get a little bit more turn, just get a little bit more downforce, and then not, well, a little bit more downforce maybe, but a little bit more traction, stuff like that. So it's definitely, yeah, that's nice, I guess. Really needs a little bit of tweaking those setup things. So yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. I think I said everything I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed this rambling video. Something I'm not really good at it, to be honest. So it's also quite long, over 16 minutes now. So as I said before, career mode is coming tomorrow with the practice sessions and the qualifying, and will split most likely every race in 2 parts. As well, they would be too long if I would include all the sessions in one video, I guess. So stay tuned for that, and like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more F1 2016 content coming in the next 2 days. So yeah, I will see you there. Bye bye.